Hi everyone. I don't even know where to start. I think the first thing that I need to do is just apologize. Like, I'm so sorry for ghosting the people that watch this channel with no explanation and just like leaving you for I don't know what. But I checked my YouTube and it said I've been gone for a year. That is that's interesting. That means this time last year is when I decided no more, and which was fair at the time. So I want to explain what was going on, what I've been up to, just a literal life update, to be honest. I'm putting you in my business for no reason, so that's what we're gonna do today, because I feel like I owe you that. Yeah, so I don't know where to start. I think I should start last year this time when I decided to quit YouTube. So and then I'm just gonna flow as the topics come in my mind. But yeah, so this time last year, this is October, hey? Yeah, it's October, and I explicitly remember what I was doing in October. So last year, literally the whole year since May, I was applying for jobs because I found out that not that I found out, I realized that I didn't want to be in the space that I was in. So I decided to take the initiative to start looking for jobs. And as I was doing that, May, June, July, August, September, you can keep counting. It was just interview, and unfortunately, even no interview, but just ghosting or email saying no. And that was really draining me, right? And then in the midst of that, I actually figured out what I wanted to do with my future, because I'm not sure if you remember from my last life update, I was talking about how I was retrenched and I was chilling, and then this job came into my life. I was called, got a job interview, and then I got the job. So so that situation made me realize that I actually didn't sit down and think of what I really want to do in my life career-wise, because at that point I was job hungry. I did not give myself any options. Anything was an option at that point. Not to say I didn't enjoy what I used to do. I did enjoy it back then, but then obviously as I started looking at my life as a working woman, almost said woman, not that old, as a working girl, I decided that actually I have certain interests, and I want to pursue those interests and make it a career for myself. So this time last year, from some failed interviews, I decided, you know what, let me do some self-study, book an entire month out just to learn by myself. And that's what I was doing. And it wasn't an easy process because I had no idea it would work out, or I didn't know what was going to happen next, and I was feeling quite drained and sad. Also by the process of how people, like, guys, applying for jobs isn't easy, and the people you apply to aren't as nice when they don't want you, because you end up just following up, no nothing. I remember I went to this interview physically. It was in Santon. I went there with my own money, sat there, and there was like 5 people interviewing me, 5 or 6 people interviewing me. Yes, I was the only person who looked like me, by the way. Anyway, I sat there, they asked me questions, I answered, blah, blah, blah. At the end of the interview, they also gave me a test to do, which I did as I was preparing to go to my flight to go back to Cape Town. And I did that. Listen, when I say those people do not respond back to me after spending money, the test, the interview was just being asked too many questions by too many people, the intimidation, everything, those people do not come back. Mind you, I go onto LinkedIn just to check, like, what's wrong with these people? And I find a guy saying, yeah, this company is known for not coming back to people. I was like, oh, so I'm not the first victim. I didn't reach out to the guy because I'm just like, it's whatever, because I don't know, but because I thought our situations might be different, but I was like, this can't come out of nowhere. You can't just blast someone on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a professional space, so it's not like on Facebook or Twitter where you can just say whatever you want. That man thought of it and he was like, I'm leaving my comment. And then yeah, that's, as time went on, I realized, yeah, no, that's just how they do it. And then a couple of months later, they literally promote someone in the same company with the same position. I'm like, if you knew you wanted to give that person that position, why did you go to through the process of interviewing so many people, wasting their time? Because before the interview, obviously you have to prep, and then also your life is going on the back, so it's not like, oh no, you just have this whole day to just prep. No, things are going on, but then you take the time and prep, and the whole time you knew you wanted to promote someone in your company. That's just wrong. That's just wrong. I know I just realized now I'm just narrating a story that happened, and I kind of derailed from where I was going as I was flowing, but I just wanted to tell you guys that people are brutal. And I saw that lady, well, I wasn't upset that the lady got the promotion, like got the job. I mean, it's good for her. But then I also saw, funny enough, I had on my LinkedIn before the interview stuff. So then I saw that she left the company to do something else. I'm like, yes, probably didn't treat you right, girl. Because if they can't treat outside people well, imagine what they do to people inside. So I was like, I'm just happy. I hope you're happy wherever you are. You got that promotion, got a salary increase, got the next job with a better salary. So I lost to them, and I don't feel sorry for them because they're rude people. Anyway, where was I? So I took this time to self-study. I'm not sure if you're following at this point, but I said October this time last year, I was self-studying, right? Because I had a career in mind that I wanted to be in, so I put my time and effort in it, right? And while I was explaining that interview story, I was just explaining that I was not in a good space as I was self-learning during this month of October. Hence, I wasn't recording or doing anything like that because I was just in this space where I was just praying and just pulling through, right? So I finished that, I put up my portfolio, and then I continued to apply for jobs in a specific field because I knew that's where I wanted to see myself, and I didn't apply for anything else in my old career, right? And then my old career, which is industrial design, right? And then I keep applying, and like the year is ending. Like the pressure that I felt, like, oh my gosh, the year is ending. I've been applying the whole year. Nothing is happening. I prep. This happens, and it's just not going well. I'm feeling demotivated. So that's when I decided that, hey, I'm too sad for this YouTube. Because I didn't want to come to you guys with all smiles and everything. Meanwhile, I was going through the most. You know, I didn't want to portray a false image because really I was not feeling like myself at the end of the year, to be quite honest. Which is crazy looking at how I'm feeling now. Like, I'm gonna get there. The story is coming. So I continue, you know, and the work that I was currently in was also very, very draining. There was just this person who would just not respect people's times, you know, like people, the deadlines were just crazy, you know, and no one was like telling him to stop, right? And it just kept getting worse and worse. Like, I just kept remembering, I really don't want to be here. Imagine your day starts, you go to a place you don't want to go to. Mind you, I love the people, right? It's just the fact that what I was doing at the moment is not what I wanted to do anymore, right? And you go to a place, you do the thing that you need to do. You need to do it at your best as well, because you can't produce crappy work, because then actions have consequences, right? And it's also my future, right? I can't just be known as, well, she doesn't do her work, and I just have to keep pushing, right? So yeah, I landed. I remember it was in November. I remember I landed an interview. I was super excited because it was in my line of work, and the company looked very interesting. How I prep, I take a half day at work. You know, when you're at work and you don't tell people you apply for jobs, you just take half days, or you just disappear at lunchtime. So I pulled one of those, but then the day before that, the day before my half day, which was the interview day, hi Bo, I get an email saying, due to unforeseen circumstances, interviews no longer happening. We had to pause interviews. We wish you well. Explaining this story is funny now, but I promise you, I cried my eyes out. I cried my eyes out. Also, on the email, they write the internship position. I'm like, internship position? You didn't say that on your job post. Now you're saying the internship position is no longer there, blah, blah, blah. So that word, the internship part, made me feel better later on, like a couple of days after. That actually, I didn't even know I was going to be interviewed for an internship. I'm not going to be there in my career and then start there. I know it's a different career that I'm jumping into, but it was going to be hard for me to move up if I start at a different career at this level, because I already have the knowledge, right? So rather just do this or do that, okay? So yeah, that's what happened. Cried my eyes out. I remember I didn't even tell my one colleague, because they were the one that knew literally when I was going to interviews and stuff like that. I didn't even tell them that it's not happening anymore. I was just like, I'm gonna go home, cry. It's too late to cancel my half day. I'm just gonna go home, cry, eat some takeouts, do something like that. So that made me very sad and defeated, like just wanting to give up overall, because I've been trying. It's November. I've been trying. I just want to be happy. It's my birthday month. And I thought this was gonna be such a cute birthday month. Kanti, it wasn't. So first week of December, was it first week or somewhere in December, right? I thought, let me just apply a bit, you know, they'll see it next year. Let me just, don't give up. I gave up 2020, shut down. I have to have learned my lesson by now, right? I need to do better. I need to progress. I'm sad. I'm the saddest person you know right now, but let me just throw them in. And I found out also that LinkedIn is doing some, well, you can, on LinkedIn, you can you can do like, what's this, certificates, and it's free for a month. So I saw my old classmate doing it from varsity, and I was like, let me hop onto this. So in December, I took that month to just do certificates that will help me within the field that I want to go into. And literally the whole month, I think, because also it doesn't even take long. One certificate could be like, how many hours? 93 hours or something like that. Yeah, I think. So I pushed so that when I start again in the beginning of the year, I at least have some certificates to back me up. Because one thing they'll ask is like, yeah, so what else do you have? Especially if you're moving into a different field. So I wanted to get that, like, to have that as a backup, and that's what I did. You know, not giving up. Still sad, mind you. I am very sad. I have moments where I'm just like, I feel like crying, and I do cry when I'm alone, when I go to sleep, you know. Sounds very dark, but I'm just gonna brush right through it. So yeah, I apply for a couple of things straight into Jan. Well, hoping that companies will see it when they open, because I know they might not be taking anybody at this point. No one's getting an interview now in December. It's a bit weird, but I know a few people do it, but hardly ever happens. So I was just like, they'll see it next year. Hey, next year comes, I don't even have the strength to plan, like have some goals, you know. But then I thought, I'm being too hard on myself. Let me not hop onto the New Year's resolution date, right? Like 1st of Jan, I'm starting. No, I thought, let me take this time to sit and just accept this new year. And then beginning of the year, I was rolling in, doing my work. And at that time, I was like, no, it's not really bad. It's not that bad. The space that I'm in is not that bad. Okay, it's really not that bad. Sorry, I have to check the time. Wow. Time flies when you're having fun. Just jokes. So beginning of the year, I started very slow. I started my year very slow. Like, I didn't even have a weekly goals, right? But then I was like, you know what? I should take this time to. It was the end of Jan, somewhere there. I was like, let me take this time to like get closer to God. I was like, let me do some type of fasting. Let me just take this time. And I really my fasting had no expectations other than just getting closer to God again, because I know at the end of the year I was falling back because I was super sad and I was not leaning on God. I was trying, but it was very hard, right? So I do that for a couple of days. I don't want to go into detail because I feel like that's personal. So I do that, and after that I honestly felt very refreshed, very calm, and just I didn't worry a lot. I knew I was still in the same place I was last year, but then it didn't worry me. Hey, I had, you know, the peace that surpasses all understanding. I really experienced that, and it felt crazy. It felt crazy because, girl, nah, you're still in the same space. Like, why are you calm? It's like, I feel like that's what Satan was asking himself. Like, do you see your bank account? Do you see where you are? Do you see the work that you do? Do you see the man that was disturbing you last year with work? He's still doing that this year. Do you see that? And I'm just like, it's cool. I'll make it till tomorrow. I know that for sure, because God has my back, you know, and His grace is sufficient every day. So I had this peace, and as I was just chilling, doing my work, I joined this webinar, right? Because I just accepted that, you know what, I'm still at the same place I was. Maybe I'm not meant to move. Maybe I'm meant to make some changes here. I don't know. But I was at that point where I'm not worrying, right? I'm chilled. Whatever happens, happens, you know? So then I saw this webinar on LinkedIn. I was like, okay, cool. This is in the field that I want to be in. And then I joined it because I'm like, it's not like I'm doing anything. At 5, I'll be at home already. So I did that. I joined the webinar, and oh my gosh, it just lit up my brain and my heart and my soul. It made me feel happy. It made me excited about the field that I want to go into, and it just reassured me that I actually want to do this. I actually want to keep pursuing it, right? So I went to LinkedIn and I was just connecting with the right people, correct? You know, because I didn't spend enough time, you know, connecting with the right people in the field that I want to go to, because it didn't make sense at the time. But then I realized I need to do it because I have to keep seeing the things that I want to see for my future, you know, like topics and stuff like that. So I did that, and then fast forward, I land an interview, right? I'm being interviewed for the field that I want to be in. Okay? This is not an internship. It's just like that. It's not a junior. It's just as is. I get in there. I present. I land the interview. I take leave. Work. RV. I do the interview. Honestly, the interview was the easiest interview I've ever done. It was because I took the time to just self-study in October. I didn't think it was going to help me that much during that interview because they were asking me things that I was learning, that I had learned, things that I'd read about, things that I've watched videos on, because I was really deep into that self-learning thing, YouTube videos, everything, podcasts, everything, and just also LinkedIn. I did that interview and explained everything in my portfolio because also the field is in UX. So I explained the things in my portfolio regarding that specific field and just take them through everything because that's what you have to do. Cool. First week, no answer. I'm like, oh damn. Okay. This is happening again. Cool. I tried. I honestly tried. And then the Monday, I think I got an email from the HR asking for my qualifications and stuff, all the certificates. That's when I was like, okay, this seems promising, but it doesn't mean anything. You know, I have to tell myself that because I don't want to get too excited and then get my heart broken because what? Trauma. No, not trauma, PTSD. So, as another week goes by and they're like, okay, we need you to go to this place to do your fingerprints. It's like, okay, progressing, but I know people do that sometimes before they even say anything because they just want to double check. And there might be other candidates, they just want to double check everybody. Cool. And then another week goes by, nothing. Hi, Bo. I was like, hi. It's cool. And then I applied for another job, which was in England. The company's in England, but they have offices in Cape Town. And then I applied. They didn't take long to respond. Hey, I applied today. 2 days later, booked. What's this? Booked an interview time slot. Did that. I did that. Booked an interview time slot, and then it was the day of the interview. Luckily for me, it wasn't. What's this? It was a holiday in South Africa, not for them, so I didn't have to waste my leave days or anything like that. So that's what I did. Had the interview, first round, because yeah, that's how they do it, right? That's how most companies do it. So the first round was with this man who, I don't know, he's like a talent source guy. And we were discussing salaries, and he's like, he asked me a question and I answered him, and he's like, And then, guys, this man says, your worth is determined by the company. He was like, yeah, I know you're thinking of your worth and stuff, but honestly, your worth is determined by the company. When he said that, I was like, bruh, you did not just say that to my face as a potential candidate. You do not tell me my worth is determined by you. And even the way he said it was like, yeah, your worth is honestly is decided by a company. And then he ended up saying, but yeah, we can start there. And then after that interview, I knew then that I do not want to work for this company if this is how they see people. Because I even asked him, how do you guys facilitate growth within your company, right? And then he was like, yeah, it's up to you. You just have to connect to the right people and like look for the right things to develop yourself. I'm like, you shouldn't be saying that. You should be saying we have programs, we pay for your courses if you want to do a course. We ever since these people have started, all of them, the people in this year, all of them have progressed to this role, blah, blah, stuff like that. Not, it's up to you. He said that, And I was like, this is it. This is where I'm like, yeah, this is not for me. So I was like, cool. He was like, thank you, you've progressed to the next stage. We want you to meet our manager. So which slot can we book in? He wanted the same week. The same week we had our first interview. And I said, no, I'm very busy. You know, it's a holiday in South Africa, so the work will be very hectic when I go back to work. He's like, oh, can't we push for later? I was like, no, can we do Monday? Because I knew I didn't want to do it. I knew I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to prepare for it, and I didn't want to waste my time. Cool, I make him book Monday, knowing I'm not gonna go. 2 days later, I send an email saying, yeah, no, I'm not continuing. Very professionally, not like I didn't like your tone. No, nothing like that. Yeah, I pulled the unforeseen circumstances. I cannot continue. Did this guy not send me an email saying, thank you for applying, unfortunately you didn't make it through? Bruh, I'm the one who dumped you. How are you dumping me after I dumped you? That was so funny to me, and it felt like it was an email he sends when people don't qualify, but he didn't want to look like to them that I dumped them, because maybe they were going to ask why didn't she want to go forward, and then if they contact me, I'm going to tell them the truth. So maybe he sent that, and then he, I don't know, forwarded whatever he said to the next person, and then lied and said, yeah, she just didn't cut it for me. Bruh, I dumped you. Let's get that straight. The minute he says that, my people come back to me. My people tell me that the team liked you very much. We're just fixing your contract. We're just finalizing your contract. Everything will be done. Yo, the joy that I had in my heart. I was like, this can't be real. Somebody pinch me. Somebody pinch me, because it's crazy. It's crazy what God does for you when you decide to trust Him, when you decide to let go of the worry, when you decide to just let go and let God. Honestly, because also I feel like every time I do a life update, I just have a testimony, and which is a great thing, which just shows that God doesn't leave His children to just drown in sorrows. God will always pull through. Like my other video was talking about how I was retrenched. I had 0 job. I had 0 job interviews, nothing, and I got a job out of nowhere. And now I wanted to change my field. Went through some hurdles, but as soon as I leaned into Him, He was like, about time, my child. If you could just listen to me. And that's one thing I learned through the process, is that God does stress and worry does not come from God. The moment you feel those things, just know something else is involved. God does not bring worry into your life, because if you trust in Him, you know He can do anything. So why would you stress? Why would you worry? And so that motivated me to stop feeling worried and stuff, because I know He has my back. Even when I dumped that other interview, it's because I knew that God is going to pull through. This man is showing me, well, the interviewer was showing me that this is a potential toxic environment. So I know I'm desperate. Well, I know I want to move into a new field, but I'm not this desperate. I need to learn my lesson. I can't just jump for the opportunity because it's giving me great breadcrumbs. No, I know God is preparing an entire ciabatta or rye bread for me. So no crumbs, please. The full loaf, or in fact, the bakery. So I stopped worrying. I did have my lows, like, honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I had my lows, but I had to keep reminding myself that God will pull me through. He's done it before, so He will do it again. and I know he will keep doing it, right? They tell me they love me. They're gonna send me the application, well, not application, the contract. Guys, I kid you not, they send me a contract with my dream role. And one thing I didn't mention in the beginning, because I didn't want to lose your focus, is that I was tired of Cape Town, right? I've been in Cape Town for 8 years, and honestly, it just became very lonely. I have like 2 friends in Cape Town, and it's not like it's a group of friends. It's my one friend, and we can never meet together. But also, I just felt away from my family, like I'm missing out on a lot of things, and it was just not hitting it for me, hey? So the whole time I was applying for jobs last year, it was to move to Gauteng. And it's crazy. It's crazy because I always told myself, I'll never move to Gauteng. Ew, Joburg, ew. I'll never move to Gauteng. And funny enough, I kept saying, if I ever move to Gauteng, I'll have to have a car. Yo, guys, be careful of the things you say, because I had a car last year, and suddenly the urge to move, the urge to just go to Gauteng, and it reminded me that, oh, I said this. One day when I was just blurbing, I said this, and now I'm applying for jobs in Gauteng, and that's where I want to be. It's crazy. So I wanted to move to Gauteng for various reasons, because also Cape Town was not for me anymore. I know it has everything that most people desire, but for me, I enjoyed those things, but then it was time for me to be like, oh, okay, it's okay. Fine, I'm not trying to discourage Cape Town. I'm saying for me, I felt like my time there had ended, and also in terms of growth in career, I didn't see myself growing there at all because of just the culture. So I thought I felt it in me to just move. Honestly, I need to come back. Also, I've never lived in Joburg, so it was like I need to move to the city. And one thing I love about me, I'm always ready to restart. Where we moving next? I'm there. I'm not scared to restart. It's fine. And that's just something I noticed about myself. I didn't know, like, other people don't want change. I love change, okay? A time for me to rebrand. Bring it on. I will do it in a heartbeat. So the job offer, back to the job offer. Sorry, I know I'm jumping. The job offer said, we want you in Joburg. Well, Gauteng. Honestly, the map here confuses me. So we want you in Gauteng. We are going to pay for your relocation. And I was like, I was willing to do that from my own pocket. We are going to pay for your relocation. We'll pay to move your car. When they said they are paying to move my car, I said, what else do you need from me? What else do you need me to donate something? I will, because at this point you're literally just dragging me to you, and I'm gonna say yes. I was very impressed by the offer, so I was like, let's go. I was so happy because it's not an internship, it's a role. It's a space where I will enjoy myself. They're paying for everything. I just need to get myself there on the day that they want me there. And so I started a new job in a new city, in a new area. Literally, people at work will be talking about, yeah, let's go. There's this place in, for example, in 4 Ways. I think I know where 4 Ways is, but I kind of don't know where it ends. You know, there's so many confusions with the map. The one day, my friend and I were in Sandton, and then we went to Hyde Park. Is it Hyde Park? Mall. Which is not in Sandton. Was it in Sandton? I'm derailing again. Okay, fine. Sorry. They moved me into a different city. I find a new apartment. I literally moved my whole life. It was such a bittersweet moment because it was like, oh, I'm gonna miss my colleagues. I'm gonna miss my two friends. But I'm also excited to see my other friends, to see my family. And I'm like, wow, this is such a bittersweet moment. And it was the best time of my life, honestly. I know it's like bittersweet, but it was also so nice to see the things I've prayed for happening, and like just God pulling through, like adding an extra, we're gonna pay for everything. This is why you need to trust God, because He said that internship, my dear, you are made for better. Just wait a bit, lean on me, and I will show you what I can do. I was like, I'm still in awe today because I don't know how I got here. I do not know how I do what I do every day. I know this is bad if my employer sees this video. I know the job. I just don't know how I'm capable of doing the job, you know, for legal purposes. Yep. So yeah, that's where I am. I am in Joburg, hence this wall. I don't know what's with Joburg and this wall. I think I might just get into a segment where I roast Joburg a bit because I have experienced cultural shocks. For example, traffic is run by, you know, the people who unfortunately stay in the streets. They control traffic. They tell us when to move forward and when to turn, guys. And they do it so well. There's so much order when they are there, and when they're not there, it's chaos. What's the other cultural shock? Yeah, these walls. Hey, what's up with this design? I don't like it, but I had to settle because what else can I do? Everything looks like this. So that's what I had to do. But also it's October now. They've got these purple trees everywhere. It's so cute. I have so many videos on my phone. It's so beautiful. Every time I'm in the car, I'm just like taking a video because I know it will end. It wasn't like this in winter. It will end. And also the winter is not deciding whether it wants to end. But I think this week has been very hot. So I think it's accepted that okay, winter is done now we're getting into summer, and it's very hot. Hey, I know I'm from Limpopo, I shouldn't be saying this. It goes to 40 there, but I've been in Cape Town my whole adult life, so this heat, it's interesting. It's interesting. But one thing I like though is that if it's very hot, it rains at the end of the day, which is very nice. So yeah, I'm a Joburg girly now, and it's been an interesting experience. So yeah, that's what I've been up to. And what else? Oh yeah, and a sad thing happened earlier on, a couple of months ago. The week I planned to go home, because as I was living in Cape Town, I never got the chance to drive home because it was just too much work. So I always choose to just fly home. Then I moved here, and then I was like, this is the perfect opportunity to just drive home for the first time. And then as I was planning to do that, the same week I had planned to do that, my grandmother passed away, the last grandmother I had. So that was very sad because it literally happened the week I was planning to come back home. So I felt like, I don't know, it just felt very, you plan things and they might just not go as planned, you know. We all have these ideas in our minds, and yeah, you know, one thing that happened that also hurt my heart was that my nephew asked me last year, like, why don't you post videos anymore? Why don't you post on YouTube? And I said to him, I gave up. And then he said, don't give up. And I felt like crying, but I was like, There's nothing I can do, girl. I almost said girl. He's a boy. But you get what I mean. I was like, yeah, I've given up. It's fine. Because I didn't have the strength to film. I was exhausted and I just also wanted to live in the moment because my family was visiting me in December. Because I told them, you better visit me now because you might not find the chance next year. Because even though I was sad, I was still hopeful, you know. A little faith can take you far. So that's what I said to them. So they all visited and we had a great December. So that's when he told me, and I thought it ended there. My sister calls me. She's like, why did you tell my son to give up? I said, what? What did I say? And she said, apparently he said he's giving up because Mashup also gives up. It made me think of a lot of things. Like, the things you say to children, you best think of those things very carefully. Because what? And I felt sad. I was like, no, I didn't say that. And obviously my sister was like, don't say that to my son. And it made me think a lot. And also it showed me what type of example I am showing to my kids. They're my kids. And I just want to be a better aunt, you know? So I'm doing this for them. I'm back for them, but I'm also back because I honestly like talking to myself here and sharing my stories. One thing I want to do, let's end off there. Let's close it off in a positive note. One thing I want to do now, I know you guys probably have lost hope in me, but for those that haven't, like my nephew, one thing I want to do in my channel is also like talk more like how I was talking with you guys, like sharing my stories and just showing what I'm up to, honestly speaking, like being honest with my feelings and my thoughts. And because I am very skeptical to share my thoughts and feelings because I don't know how I will be perceived, how people will see me. And I also don't want to say the wrong thing and then the next thing you're trending like you're low-key YouTuber, like you get like 10 views and then suddenly you say something, someone puts it on their story, next thing you're trending for the wrong things. They're like, look at this girl. So that's something I'm afraid of. I know it's weird, like it's so far-fetched, but it's something I'm afraid of. But I want to be honest. I want to be honest and I want to share my thoughts and my feelings and just show you my progress in life. Because I've also gotten back to like planning a lot of my days. So I want to show you as I plan, as I do things, because I think it can be very helpful to someone out there. I just would like to help at least one person, you know, because I live a lot in my head. So I want it out. So I'm excited to be back and happy to be here. And I hope you guys please continue to watch my videos. One thing that discouraged me as well was that, hey, I'll put so much effort putting the camera at that angle, there, doing this motion, and then I get like a few views. It's quite discouraging, but I learned that it's something that's gonna happen. It's not, I can't stop that, which is fine. I just have to be fine with that and not be discouraged by that. As long as one person gains something from it, even if it's a laughter, because I know I'm funny. I also didn't want to gatekeep my sense of humor, so I thought, y'all probably suffering out there without me for this long. I need to bring back that, you know. So yeah, I just want to make this space a positive space. We don't give up on this side, right? If there's one person who does not want to give up, gives up but comes back, it's me. You need to put me on that list because I've been trying, you know, but I'll keep on trying, right? It's for the greater good. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'm excited to see you on the upcoming videos. Like, I'm excited for you guys to watch more of my videos. I normally stop posting at the end of the year. I disappear a bit or skip the month of November, But I have I have some ideas coming through which I want to share with you guys. So I'm excited, and also I hope everyone has been doing well. If you want to tell me what you've been up to as well, hit me up, comment, I don't know, DM or anything. Just let me know how you're doing. I'm doing very good now. I'm doing well. You know, life is life, but I'm still doing well. Funny enough, this morning, I'm derailing again, but this morning I didn't have the energy. I just felt so down and then suddenly I was like, I need to do this. I said I was going to do this today, so I need to do this today because I'm going to be busy the upcoming days. So I hope you also just get up from what you are currently stuck in and just keep pushing. You know, there's light at the end of the tunnel. Don't know which tunnel this is, but there will always be light, you know. Also, this mic that hasn't been working. It's not working. It's just here for prop. I tried to plug it in, but I don't know how to, so I'm just waiting for help. Hopefully on the other videos I'll get it to work, but I thought it was a cool thing to have, even though it's not working. I tried it. The sound was very off. It kept making this weird sound, so I thought I'll do it next time. But aesthetics